Do you ever wonder where America is headed? Always spending money and resources, becoming involved in other countries' disputes? My name is Cody Jensen, and today we're going to discuss why intervention is not in the United States' best interest. We will be covering three topics. The first being cost of intervention, secondly, how it affects the nation, and third, America's views of intervention. The cost of intervention affects us all. For those of us who have family within the armed forces, take take upon themselves the greatest cost of all, because there is a possibility for us to lose our loved ones abroad. Statistics show that since World War I in 1917, there has been 624,932 deaths and 1,152,710 wounded soldiers for the purpose of intervention. The justification for these statistics was a combination of natural interests and preemptive self defense. Other costs include money. Lane Kenworthy with Good Society showed that on an average, the U.S. spends 5% of its GDP annually on the military for intervention. World War II accumulated the biggest cost, which was 36% of America's GDP at what was considered the peak of the war, and this is all considered annually. In my opinion, we should not be involved in abroad problems when we are struggling with our own problems here at home. Our national debt is in the trillions, according to the U.S. debt clock, and as a nation, we cannot help others until we are able to help ourselves. If we continue to do so, um, we will continue to struggle with the same problems that we have been struggling with for years. The time, effort, resources could be put to use here in America, um, other than being used abroad. Um, Other resources we use abroad are things such as food and water. We have children here in America going without the proper nutrition, um, and we still continue to send millions of dollars worth of food and water and other tangible items to aid abroad countries. I understand why we do it, and I think it's for a good cause, but once again, shouldn't we help ourselves um, before we can help others? I believe we are digging a hole, and once we notice the true damage that we are acquiring, it will be too late to repair the damage. There are many other costs to intervention outside of the few I have brought to your attention as well. Intervention affects the nation in many ways. If an, if an intervention takes longer than expected, then the American people may and will lose interest in the cause of the intervention and no longer support the government of their decision to intervene the country. Many soldiers who return alive have acquired PTSD, so while some families grieve over loved ones, others fight to be normal once again. We also have soldiers who know nothing outside of the armed forces and become homeless and struggle for the rest of their lives. I wonder why America is not doing more to help these individuals who put their lives on the line to fight for our freedom, but we are helping other countries who do not share the same views and interests as we do as a country. Pew Research Facilities provided studies that showed that Americans believe the U.S. should more or less mind its own business internationally. These beliefs have been higher in recent years than at any point in the past century. In 2010, about 54% of America shared this belief, and since then, the percentage has hovered around 51 to 56%. Jake Miller with CBS News says that this growing desire among Americans to stay out of World affairs is linked to increased criticism of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and decreased sense of threat, a long-standing desire to focus on domestic problems, and an increased divide among Republicans. According to the survey provided by Miller, Americans are also more likely to support intervention if there is an economic justification. Um, 77% say economic power is more powerful than and important than military power and importance. And 76% say safeguarding American jobs should be the country's highest foreign policy priority. Only 25% support intervention to protect weaker nations against foreign aggression, and only 17% support intervention to promote democracy. In conclusion, today we have talked about the cost of intervention and how they're overwhelming America. The effects are uh, devastating, and America believes we need to address issues here at home before we address other issues abroad. Let's build America stronger to show our true strength.